Yeah.
Okay, good to hear that. Yeah, good morning. So last week I mentioned I will check your class work, right? One moment. I'll do the recording. Okay. Let's see. So I've uploaded this one. Okay. Where is it? So you can have a look before you prepare your presentation. Okay, I have a few comments and suggestions. Like I would like for you all to rename function 3 and 4, send payment details and receive validation status. I want you all to make sure that the function name represents the task to be performed by the system. So now you imagine you all are my system analysts, and you will pass all this documentation, right? This is considered as FDD, it's still under system design. One of the things that will be included in the SDS, the system design specifications, where in the system development phase, we assume that programmers will use the specification, design specification, to do their coding, right? You need to be a good SA, make sure what all those designs that you have included, that you have done, included in the system design specification, easy to understand. Okay, so I mentioned here benefit, easier for programmer to understand, because after system design would be the system development, and we have covered system development, okay, part 1, part 2, and then when I look at the function 3 for this validate payment module, yeah, you will get the payment details, right, from the customer. The payment details are entered into the system by the sales staff, and then it will be sent to either the bank or credit card firm, and depending on the payment type here, right? And then after the bank or credit card firm receive the payment details, it will be processed to determine its validation status. So I assume this is the part where the transformation of the input, okay, the transformation of the input, what are the input? Yeah, these are the inputs, right? Either from the bank or from the credit card firm. Transformation of the input into the output, which is the validation status. So I would like you all to come up with a more suitable function name, okay, rather than just a send payment detail. Send payment detail, nothing happens, correct? No transformation of the input data flow, just you are sending it somewhere, okay? And number 4, receive validation status. Let me see. Receive the validation status, will send back the validation status back into the system. This allows the staff, sales staff, to know whether the provided payment details is valid or not, and then it can be informed to the customer. So again, try to come up with a more suitable name, rather than just receive validation status. And then I put there a suggestion to rename the data flow, this data flow, from validation status to payment validation status, because the name of your process one is validate payment. So it would be more meaningful if the output is renamed to it's validate payment. So the output should be payment validation status. My suggestion. So if you agree with that, so you need to change, modify this particular presentation as well as the one in your diagram 0 and your context diagram as well. Okay, and I would also like to suggest for your entities, for your data flows, not data flows should be okay. Entities and data store, you can change it to capitalize. Okay, easy for us to know that these are the external entities, also the data store. Okay, for the receive booking module, yeah, I suggest to rename function 2, 3, and 4. Okay, the first function, receive customer detail. Receive customer details, but I see that it is not stored immediately. Okay, so I understand why you name it as receive customer detail. Sales staff will enter the customer details. So you make changes here lah. Obtain the customer details given by the customer or obtain from the customer. The blue color is the one that I add in. The red color, the one that you need to make changes into the system. And then I want to ask, receive customer details. Is it only customer details? Is it together with the bus ticket booking?
I think it's more into like how many passenger, how many what date, what departure date they prefer.
Oh, in that case, because here I assume that it is just customer details. Okay. The naming is important. So when it goes to function, letter function 3, booking a schedule. Okay, I mentioned that there's a possible gray hole, missing data flow from customer into this process. Where's the bus ticket booking details? So perhaps you might want to reconsider this part. Okay, the customer details. If you want to retain customer details data flow, then you just add one more data flow for the bus ticket booking details. Customer details would be, it depends on your story. Okay, much more easy if you rename it. And then you need to change this up, right? Okay, much more easier if you rename.
If we change to validate the schedule instead of booking the schedule.
Validate?
Like the customer choice.
Customer choice
of the schedule and like the customer give the staff, they tell the staff like what kind of which one you want.
So that's why I'm wondering whether there should be another data flow here.
Maybe then can the customer details can be like his booking details given to
In
the
that
staff?
case, these two function will need to be redo. Okay, need to be redo because you are explaining there's only one data flow and it is about the ticket booking details. So meaning what happened is that this one will be the first one. Okay, getting the schedule from the schedule data store. So here, rather than receive schedule, normally when we interact with data store, we use either the word access or read from the data store. And then if we the data flow is going into the data store, then it should be like update data store or store into the data store. All right, so that's why if you can change the receive, perhaps the system will retrieve the bus schedule details or the system will read the bus schedule detail. Okay, from the schedule, it's not data storage, yeah, data store. Okay, from the schedule data store. And since the naming of your data store is just schedule, it would be more meaningful if the data flow is named as bus schedule, bus schedule details. Display to the customer. So I assume, because if I'm not mistaken, the customer will go to the counter, right?
Yeah, I think should be this. Should be yeah.
Okay. And then booking a schedule also, perhaps you can rename. Customer will decide which bus schedule to book from the available bus schedule options, and the sales staff will enter the bus ticket booking details into the system. And then number 4, send to booking data. Send to booking data. Because if you have bus, yeah.
So first is the receive the
Yeah.
and the second is the key in
the data flow from the customer details about their bus booking.
Which one? First one is the receive schedule.
Yeah.
And then second one is the booking the schedule. Is the booking the schedule like.
Yeah.
And then third one should be validate. Should it be validate? Can it be like validating
no.
the selection?
I suggest to rename this to completed bus ticket booking details. Because if you receive bus ticket booking details from the customer, to show that this input has been transformed into an output, okay, we don't use the same name, like bus ticket booking details, come out also bus ticket booking details. It shows that there's no transformation happen. So I suggest if you want to rename this customer detail to bus ticket booking details, okay, so this function as the output would be the completed bus ticket booking details. Why complete? Because combine the schedule and also the customer option completed, and then that one will be stored into the booking data store. Well, whether you'll agree or not, completed, I add in here completed. Otherwise, then if both data flows are the same in and out, it doesn't show transformation. Remember that a process name, we start with the verb and it should show the the action that we will do to the input data. So it's good that everything is starting with a verb. So assuming that all these are the 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. Okay, after you explore this. Let me see. And I noticed there's a missing function because there's an output here. Do you realize that? The ticket.
Yeah.
Okay, the ticket can. So add that function. So meaning if you remove this, you still have 4 functions, can?
Yeah.
Either to generate or print the bus ticket from the system to be given to the customer. So you do the your refreshing lah. The one in red color, you do the refreshing. The one in blue, I suggested if you agree, then you can follow lah. So you see that instead of using receive and send, receive from data store, send to data store, it's better to use the word stored into the booking data store. Read from the schedule data store. Retrieve from the schedule data store. Okay. Because we assume that the data store is something like a file, all right, a file where we save all our data. And then the renaming of data flow, this one already mentioned, bus schedule details, because no need to change the data store lah. Since this is to receive booking, what booking? The bus. All right, so we get the bus schedule. So rename it to bus schedule details, and booking details. This one already mentioned, and ticket to be bus ticket. Because anyway, the name of your system is a bus ticketing system. You need to show that consistently. That's my suggestion. So you'll have a discussion before the presentation. And
Yes. For the validated payment.
Which one?
The renaming part. I still don't understand. Do we have to extend the name? Or the content also is correct, right? Just the name only.
The content is correct. The content is correct.
Oh. So just I cannot think of other name already.
Oh yeah, kan.
Instead of same payment. So yeah, if you can get more hints.
One moment, yeah. Okay, perhaps function 4 lah. Function 4. I think function 4, it's not just receiving the validation status, kan? Because you will communicate the validation status, the payment validation status to customer. So if the name of this function is just to receive validation status, it doesn't really show that the input that you receive, which is the status from either the bank or credit card, it just stay in the system. It will not go to customers. So I think please rename the 4th one. Okay. Let's see.
So the third one. Third
one, boleh kah? Let me see.
Because can depend on the bank or credit card. If so, if bank is true, then send to the bank. If else, send to the credit card firm, like that.
You want to explain that one, right? In that case, how should you rename function 3? It's not merely send payment details, huh?
So send payment details depending on payment type.
Yeah, much more clearer.
Oh, okay.
Then we can see there's a processing that happening there.
All right.
You agree? if you can shorten that one, lagi better. uh, um,
Conditional some. I don't know.
you try your best. Because if you just put send payment details, it's like, because I see there's something happening here. Can it's either here or here.
Supposed
So
to be
if you want to give this explanation to your programmers, they might go back to you, sir, can you clarify about the third function? They will go back to you and then ask you. And then remember that all these functions, it will become modules, right? And each module is something like a method or function in the program itself. And then say what we learn about the good characteristics of a design is it should be modular. This is what we're doing. We separate the big system into various modules. This is modularity. And then each of the module, it should be doing one particular task. So this task is just to do validating the payment module, whereby the input would be the customer payment details, and the customer will get back their validation, or it's a success. Okay, so it will only perform that. And then another good characteristic of system design, this one is referring to last week's tutorial, Kelvin punya question. The third one is the coupling, right? Coupling, we want low coupling. So whatever that we change here, it will not affect this particular module. So if anything change here, will it affect anything here? So that's what I want you all to like sit in a overall view. Okay. Yeah, I like the naming, but then it's quite of long. Later so if this is function 1.3, then the should be okay lah. The most important thing you want your programmers to understand. Any other question about my comment and suggestion?
so if the third one I name it like read payment details and send payment details. Read and send.
I prefer the previous one.
Oh, okay.
Send payment details based on payment type. Why are you sending it to bank or the credit card firm?
To check if it's valid or not, if it's blacklisted.
Then the answer depends on your explanation just now. Okay, you still have time to discuss before our presentation on Thursday lah. Okay, and then for the diagram 0, I saw something. Okay, I saw something. If you make any changes, I hope 3 of you, okay, pasang mata, 6 pairs of eyes. When you submit it to your final report, check that the context diagram and diagram 0 both are balanced. Okay, check the external entities and the data flows. And then check the data flows for process 3, cancel booking ini. Read confirm cancellation details from the booking data store. This contradicts because these are booking. There's no cancellation. So which one comes first?
Oh yeah, actually in the booking kan, there's a column name status. Either it is successful or cancel. Oh, yeah. Those two status.
So which one? Which data flow comes first? This
the
one
ticket,
or this one?
The customer. The
ticket. Customer will give the ticket, right? After that,
then the cancellation details into the booking data store.
So cancellation details, because the input is ticket, okay, the bus ticket. So I suggest to rename this to bus ticket, ticket to bus ticket, and this one I suggest to rename it to the bus ticket cancellation. You store it here, and then
Not store. I mean, to check if valid.
kalau if it's to check, then it should be arrow going into the system, retrieve. This is updating. Ini ialah updating.
Oh, I see.
So that's why I'm over here. Where was it? You receive means arrow from the data store. Send means means you store into the data store. You update into the data store. So make sure you understand the meaning of the arrow lah. Sinilah. Confirm. What do you mean by confirm? Is it checking for existing bus ticket booking based on the ticket details given by the customer?
Yeah, but yeah, it's a wrong concept.
A wrong concept, huh? So check on this one. And then I want another input for process 5, generate sales report. You read from all the data store, tertinggal satu from the schedule. Get one from the schedule. Because a sales manager might want to say check on the bus schedule as well. Okay, remember when you do your query, you can select the attributes or fields from various table, right? So add in one more sini. Okay, so bus schedule details, right? I think that's about it. It's in the case study deliverable in classwork. I uploaded it. That's about the in classwork. Oh, it's almost 30 minutes. Let's see. Our post document. Okay, so today is week 10. Oh, it's week 10. One more month. Then we are done with our syllabus. Wow. One more. 4 weeks, 1 month. 4 weeks means 1 month.
Oh, 1 more month, yeah.
1 more month. 1 more month. 4 weeks. Okay, so today we're going to cover a new chapter on system implementation, separated into 2 parts. So week 10 and week 11. Week 12, the final phase in SDLC, okay, operation and maintenance. Week 13 and 14, the final chapter, system development methodology 1 and 2. Okay, and then on Thursday, then you will present me your FDD, right? As for the tutorial, is for the tutorial 9, testing and documentation. I think already ready that. Oops. Tutorial, we have discussed this. Tutorial 8, already ready this. I think Kelvin already answered. Question 1, Noel. Question 2, Farah. Question 3, Kelvin. 1, 2, 3, 3 questions. So we'll discuss the answer first before your presentation. Okay, that is tutorial. And yeah, I want to give you a class activity question. This is, I think I should assign it to you. Oh, last time, how did I do it? I think I gave you the same day also, right? Oh, this one macam I give. March 16. Oh, one day. Okay, one day. Okay, so in that case, I will give you one day also. Edit. Due date would be tomorrow lah. Tomorrow, you can reply to each other. You can edit your answer. Question is the role of SA in system design. The key person is SDLC is SA. The question, what is the role of SA in the system design phase of SDLC? So as usual, you can include any website link or YouTube video, short video lah to accompany your answer. I attach a YouTube video. Who is a SA here lah, to get your mind going. So I'll click ask. This is the class activity. Okay, now it's 12 p.m. Let's go for a short toilet break, 2 minutes, and I'll be back.
Okay.
Right, I'm back. I tried to use my second monitor. Somehow, I cannot do it even after I restart. Never mind. I'll just use one screen. Okay. Let me un
Miss using PC?
I have my laptop and I have my monitor, another monitor as my second monitor, so that I can see you all in one screen, and then I can see my slide in another screen. Much more easier.
Oh, okay.
But then never mind. Just use one screen and go back and forth. Okay, should be no problem. Okay, let me show you my Google Classroom. Let's go to our Google Classroom. Okay, and I believe you have your slides ready. Okay, you need to fill up the blank field. So now it's chapter 10. I added a few things. Oops. Did I think I already deleted all. I don't like, I really don't like the
The sound
sound.
effect.
Yes. I don't know why the KL people, they like to use that. Okay, it's not in the slide master. I think I missed this one only. The rest I think already deleted. Oh, still there. Oh yeah. How come I missed this? Then there will be like bombing sound all the way. Okay.
No wonder the slide's so laggy.
Lagging, huh? Okay, save this. Let me. So chapter 10 is the system implementation, 2 parts. The second half we will cover next week. For the implementation, we just look at the installation. This is where it covers the installation of the hardware, software. Like if you buy a new computer for your client, then you need to set up the PC with a printer, all those, and UPS, the power supply. And then for new computers, then you need the OS, everything lah, right? Installation. We're talking about the common PC installation. If it requires networking, then the cabling, remember, try to recall your system planning, the feasibility study under the economic feasibility. You did the cost and benefit summary, right? In year 0, you suggested some cost, okay, investment in the computers. For 26, or have you already changed 26 else stuff? PC, is it changed already?
Our assignment. Yeah.
The case study assignment, the cost benefit summary. I cannot recall.
Oh, I got changed again. So second time.
Oh, second time. So if just to give you an idea about what is the installation all about, say, where's your presentation? That one should be in
Week 4.
what? Week 4. Feasibility study. Okay, cost summary. Yeah, like if you suggest to buy all this, right? Okay, and then All these are hardware. Okay, this is the software, right? This is what we're talking about for today's lecture. Okay, the installation. We're not talking about the bus ticketing system yet. Okay, the bus ticketing system, that one will be in next week. It's under the system changeover or system conversion, whereby we stop the old system. Oh, how's your case? Your case, you have an existing ticketing system, but it's already old, and then you want to replace it with a new one, right? So meaning you stop the old system and stop the old system and start using the new system. That is system conversion next week. So today installation is before that. And then file conversion is also important, whereby perhaps the old system, they're using different database, okay, the files, everything, especially if the old system is manual data entry, there's a lot of converting need to be done. So we will cover that today. Okay, and then this is again a recap from our chapter 1. I hope you all know where are we. And in one of my class activity, I asked the feasibility study. Okay, it's performed in which phase? Okay, if you mention phase 2 is system analysis, where we perform detailed analysis, so it's wrong. It should be during the first phase, system planning. During the preliminary investigation, we want to know whether the proposed new system is feasible, whether it is worth to be developed before we go to detailed analysis. So what does it mean? It means inside this PIR, preliminary investigation report, this is where you include your feasibility study outcome, okay, in terms of economic, is it feasible, technical, what else, the operational, okay, social and operational. That one will be included in the preliminary investigation report. And then sometimes instead of preliminary investigation, they call it as feasibility study lah. Okay, this is in system planning. Yeah, do you all remember? I think two person got that one wrong. Okay, it's not in system analysis. And then we have system design, and then the system development, which we have completed. Okay, and then just now I mentioned in the FDD, okay, that I point out before I start the lecture, means SA will be involved in the system design specification, and then when it goes to system development, this is where the programmers will come in. They will start with the coding and then testing, and SA will also need to complete the documentation. Programmer will also complete the program documentation. So there are 4 types of documentation that we have covered last week. Okay, so when we have all that ready, what is our output? Completed system. And now we are covering system implementation. So the first thing that we will look at the installation and file conversion first. Next week, we will look at the system changeover, system conversion, means after we have convert into the new system, what is the output? Your IS is in operation. Okay, and to see whether or not you remember anything, hopefully you remember something from our system development chapter. I've prepared you a quizzes. Okay, I prepared you a quizzes. Let's see. Right, this is recap from chapter 1. We have completed this coding, right, program, test, the program documentation. In fact, we have 4 types of documentation. And after the quizzes, then we will start with the system implementation. Okay, the first part that we'll cover is this one: installation, prepare the hardware, software, and the site before operation. And then prepare the file conversion or creation. Next week, we will look at 2 things. we perform the user training, and after that do the system changeover. Okay, this is what we'll cover in system implementation. So I hope you all are very clear already. Where are we in the SDLC? Yeah. Okay, let's see the quizzes. I think it's already been posted. Yeah, already. Already posted. Okay, this one. Yeah, you can do it now. As there are 15 questions.
The quizzes.
Yes. This is about the system development. Before we start with the new chapter, I want to do a short recap. Yeah, this one. Okay, waiting for you all to join. The link is given here. After you're done, okay, let's see. Are you all in?
Yeah.
You may start, yeah? All right. Anytime you're ready. Start now. All right. I believe everyone has complete. Very need to study. Okay. Let's see the overview. Question number 1 is, which of these is performed during the development phase? Definitely to develop programs. Okay.
You know, many of the question like select the answer is they let us choose which one. They let us select how many, and then the answer is everything. They always
Yeah,
I
that's what.
I choose 3 of them, and then suddenly the answer is all of them. Yeah.
Oh, you all didn't get any power ups for and then or any redemption question?
I got redemption, but I didn't use power.
Ah.
Those questions really trick question. Oh, they ask you to
Yeah.
choose which one, and then suddenly answer is everything.
That is to see whether you all read your slides or not lah. Okay, means
I'm not confident.
after the lecture, did you all at least gone through the slides? Okay, and then what else? Whether you all remember what we covered in the tutorials, and then what else?
Second guess, so I get it wrong.
There's one power up that I like, which is the 50-50. It means if you get that power up, it will reduce half of the incorrect answer. So if it's 4, then the option will left with 2 lah. Okay, let's see. Question 2 is okay. Implementation. All right. Question 3, check for errors. Oh, it's not documentation, it's testing. Question 4, purpose, correct. And then this is for programmers, they need program documentation and system documentation for maintenance. End user is used by the end user and the trainer. End user documentation means the user manual is not used by programmer, used by the end user themselves and the trainer lah. Let's move on. Question 6, you did well. Performance testing, okay. Criteria for choosing a programming language. Oh, everything. The purpose, the cost, whether there's a support tool, and also performance. Okay. Advantages, correct. Logic error. Yeah, this is a logic error. If you want to calculate average, you should get the sum and then divide it with the count. So this is a logic error, not a syntax error, not an execution error lah. Who participates in the structured walkthrough? All. This is where the software developer will give a presentation on his codes. The SL will be there, the other programmers will be there, the users will be there, the recorder is the secretary, and the chairperson is the person who will chair the this formal meeting, the structured walkthrough. Okay, beta testing, everyone got it right. Case 2, everyone got it right. Okay, question 13. This is forward engineering means starting from, it's like from system analysis, all those diagrams, models, until you get the codes. All right. Reverse engineering is from the codes. Okay, you can get the ERD or the DFD correct.
They're just opposite of each other. Forward and
opposite. Yes, correct.
Oh, okay.
Question 14. Oh, semua salah. Case 2 include semua betul.
Yeah lah, like this like.
Yeah, like that.
It should be the modeling. Actually, there are more than 4 modeling tools. If you refer to your notes, application generator, we can generate the code, generate the screen, generate the report. We have modeling tools. There are documentation tools. There is one more, I cannot remember. And final question is IDE. Okay, correct. This is IDE. IDE is a comprehensive facility, means everything in that particular IDE, like Microsoft Visual Studio. Let's see apa Farajab source code editor. No. Source code editor is just the editor within the IDE. Remember, Farah, in one IDE, you have the source code editor, and then you can see the Windows Explorer. What else? The
Okay, okay.
output. Kalau ada error, then there's another window. All those are okay. Source code editor is one of it.
Okay.
Okay, good job. Let's see. Then I can end my assignment. Yes. Right. Log out. So does this quiz help you to do revision?
Oh yeah.
So I will create another one for the system implementation. Okay, let's continue. So we'll cover this part first. If you're wondering from where do I get all this, all these are from the chapter 1. Okay. Oh, before we start, I found something that I want to share with you all. This is if you go to Job Street and then you search for IT or computer related job, you can find lots of job vacancy. And then I selected this one, software developer, the recent this month. The duties and responsibility. It's, let's see, I put my comment here. The job here covers the system development, system implementation, and system operation and maintenance. Let's have a look. Okay, design, write program, convert design to computer code, compile code, correct errors, test, find cause of error, maintain documentation. These are in system development, right? And then documentation, technical assistance. This is in the operation already. Train the user. Train the user is in system implementation, right? This is maintenance. So basically, the job here for a software developer covers this one in the system development lifecycle. Development, kan? They develop software, implement, and then help the user during the operation of the system and doing maintenance as well. And then for your case study, our SID case study, we covers, if you notice, we cover the first 3, okay, the first 3 phases in SDLC, because these are what we say as the SA duties and responsibility, meaning starting from the system planning, feasibility study, system analysis, fact gathering, and then designing, okay. All these are done by system analysts. So that's why I assume 3 of you all are my system analysts. Okay, and then I can see here as well, the software developer task is to consult with the SA. Okay, consult with the SA means software developer will get what kind of information from the SA about the program intents, the functions, the feature, the data requirements, input requirements, output requirements. All these are what will be compiled in here, system design specification. So the software developer or the programmer will be, here the system requirements document, okay. And then, where am I? Okay, system design, SA already done with the system design, and then pass the design specification for the software developer to do the coding, okay, implement, and then do the operation. This is just to link you all to actual world of software development. And then this is the requirement. Okay, the requirement, minimum 2 years of working experience. Wow. Okay, notice that it also includes system analysis. This is what we're doing now in this course. At least a bachelor degree. So when I see at least a bachelor degree, it means this software developer can move up to become analyst programmer, okay, whereby we'll do half analysis, design work, and then half coding, and then after that, with more experience, can climb up to as a system analyst who will do the system analysis and design. of the system. Okay, that's why I mentioned here. System analysis and design, it covers the first three of the SDLC phases. Okay, what else? For this company, this is in Sabah. Other combinations of experience and education means if you don't have 2 years experience, so my suggestion to you all would be, I'm sure you know that you need to go for your internship. Okay, so your internship experience is very important. You can add on to your resume. Additional certifications, online courses. This is up to you whether you want to take it up or not, because you are competing with existing applicant with what do you call that, working experience, and then you are just a fresh graduate. Okay, so with this, perhaps it will increase your chances. And are you aware of the soft skill point that you can get if you attend any activity arranged by the UC? You all know that?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you fulfill everything, including the entrepreneurship skill, all right, you will get your cert to show that besides your degree cert, you also have the soft skill set like leadership, communication, lifelong learning, and so on. And then there's a note here. Business process knowledge is also important. And then for our course, you are introduced to the case study. In this case, what kind of business process? Ticketing. Ticketing, and what is our background? Transportation company. Okay, so hopefully you try to get as much as you can from this course. All right, and then the rest are like, web development, we have covered this. Okay, with me. Java, Java belum. JavaScript, yes. HTML, CSS. The rest are extra database. You have learned it, but then you're using Oracle. Should be similar, especially the SQL. Familiar with mobile app. I'm not sure whether you are taking any mobile app course in RST.
I think got
Ada? In which semester?
I forgot earlier. I saw it
It's
before.
in the handbook, right?
Yeah.
So see that you all as our graduate, you have chances. Okay, so if you look at this company, he want to remain confidential. I'm very curious, but I don't want to click this. They are in the infrastructure and production work, housing development, building construction, agriculture, palm oil, hotel. So this is the reason why even though we are in the IT field, we need the business process knowledge. This is very important. Like bus ticketing, you all want to do bus ticketing. I never work in a bus company before. I've never involved in any ticketing system. So this is where we use our assumption. We use our online research. Okay, so I hope this sharing is beneficial to you all. Okay. Do you all know any online courses that you join, that you can join? Mobile app. Oh, this is nice. Any? Can you type? Oh, elective. Elective means you will only take this if all three of you select a mobile app. Okay. I would suggest you all to, during the semester break, you can go for this Coursera.
Is it free?
When was it? 2020? Yeah, I think in 2020, I enrolled into this campus basic plan under TAUC. I can join for free, and then for during the duration, few months duration, I get to like study several courses for free. Let me I share something with you all. Something to motivate you all. You have your studies for 3 years, correct? Now you're in
Yeah.
your year 1. Belum year 2 lagi kan?
No.
Crosswalk. Crosswalk. Verify. New
I have
image.
to.
Ada lagi? No more. Verify. Ada lagi. Select Oscar with Vega. Yeah. This thing doesn't trust me. Okay. But this one ended end of last year, December. But then I still managed to join earlier this year lah. Okay, earlier this year, like I took this intro to SQL, because if you look at the resume template, there's a section for courses attended, and then if you have attended with the certificate, normally from like Coursera, Udemy, Allison, there are many online course provider. Yeah, you should put that in your resume, because you're a fresh graduate, you need to compete with others with experience, right? And then let me just give you an example. Give you an example. Last year, I've completed, where was it? First page. Okay, this is first one that I taken. Like Coursera, the courses are offered by the university, those are top university like University of Michigan, Johns Hopkins University. Before I start the semester with you all, I took this from Johns Hopkins University. Okay, and then if you have completed, this one is with assignment, means you need to submit your assignment, and then there's a peer graded assignment where you upload your assignment, and then another 3 peers will grade you, and then you will also grade another 3 peers, something like that. Okay, so you will get the set. So this set is beneficial for you. I just want to link it to this one, because here it asks for minimum 2 years working experience, but then other combinations of experience and education. So you can put here your internship experience, additional certification. Okay, hopefully this is a useful info for you all. Okay, I took that for free.
Can we students also apply this?
Last year open to both staff and student, but then limited to 5,000 people lah. I think that one is before semester may start. And then you'll join in week 3, was it May? Hopefully there's more offer this year lah. So we wait for the info, because last year we do have this under TAUC free courses, and then the recent one, okay, yeah, database in PHP, JavaScript, and then because I'm teaching data science this semester, so I took this one, executive data science. If you go for specialization, what does it mean? It means you need to complete a set of courses. Like if you complete all this, you get cert for each of these courses, and since it's under specialization, then you will get the specialization cert listing all the courses included in the specialization. And if you have LinkedIn, I believe, or where was it? All these are from top university also lah. Otherwise, if there's no free, then you can go for the page, which it will be in USD. Ada LinkedIn juga. Okay, just sharing with you all. Any Any question before we finally start with the lecture? Oh, it's after 1 hour already.
So far, no.
No, huh? Right. Okay, mobile app. Okay, again, this is what we're covering. Installation, preparing hardware, software, site before operation, and the second part is file conversion or creation, excluding user training. That one will be next week. Okay, I added this one so that we will see. Part 1, the first thing that we will do is the installation, which is the equipment conversion. Okay, installation means the equipment conversion. And then the second part is the file conversion. And next week would be the system conversion. So equipment conversion, it depends. Okay, it depends whether look at the proposed system. Sometimes there's none. None to be installed means the existing hardware is still working well. Okay, sufficient to be used for a few more years. Okay, none. But then for your case study, you suggested to replace the computers, right? Okay. From none up to like need to install a mainframe, especially when you need to have a web server, internet server, and all the peripheral equipment. Example of installation, small installation only covers PC lah. Okay, a large installation includes mainframe. So each type of the according to the size, it differs. All right, like for PC system, it's can be completed in a shorter time, right? It's not that complex. For large system, there are more things that you need to cover. Okay,
the server
so small.
also count as mainframe system.
Sorry?
The server also count as mainframe.
Oh, let me see. Server, mainframe has more capacity, it's more powerful compared to server. I think server can be included here, where it can you have a client server architecture. The clients connect to the server. Say you have a very powerful printer, okay, attached to your server, and then all the client PC connected into the into the network so that they can do a network printing lah. So you can, if it includes server, it might be here. Still considered as small lah. Okay, rather small. Unless you have quite a number of servers, like the one that I show you, the juniors Nestle Nestle case study. They propose how many servers, and then they bought suggest to buy a number of server cabinets. So I believe that one is more on the large scale. Okay, now in this slide we look at the small scale installation. Small scale of installation like PC and also the peripherals. Like what I mentioned just now, it doesn't take that long to complete the installation. And then normally if you buy from this vendor, they have their workers to set up for you. Okay, but then if you prefer to set up on your own, say in your IT department, you do have your own computer technician, it can still be done, right? It can still be done because normally you have the instruction manual, okay? And then even like you want to update the, you want to install a printer, there's a instruction on how to install the printer driver and so on. Okay, so this is considered as small scale installation. What are the hardware we need to consider for this small scale installation? First of all, look at the site. Site is the place As long as with air conditioning, it should be sufficient, because we cannot put all the computers in one room that is small and hot, because some PC, all this machine, it generate heat, right? So we need to have an office environment with air conditioning. And then you need to make sure that if you look here, availability of the space, accessibility, cleanliness, because if it becomes dusty, then it will affect what do you have in the system unit, the fan. Okay, there's a fan, it will be dusty, it will be affecting the motherboard. I'm sure you have learned the IT, the with Miss Surayani, the one. Did you learn any PC troubleshooting?
I think.
Practical?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure you all know why we want cleanliness, okay, and also the space. It cannot be too small that it will become hot after one whole day of switching on the computer. As for the power supply, example would be the power sockets. Power sockets, the latest one would include the USB here. All right, and then two socket would not be enough. It will be enough for the current system, but then you need to foresee in the future. Okay, perhaps want to add one or two more computers. You need to look at the availability of the power socket. It can be on the wall, it can be on the table itself, right? As for the furniture like desks and chairs, we go for ergonomic design, because I'm sure you all have felt it. If you're using your laptop computer for the long time, you get all sort of ache, back ache, what else? Shoulder ache. It depends. We need adjustable chair, and then the table. Normally, you will suggest to purchase those with uh, meant for computer. All right. This is with keyboard, with the system unit holder, and then it should be spacious to put the monitor, and then at the same time a space for the employee to do their work as well. Okay, you might see this one included in the costs and benefits summary of information system, right? Since you all haven't gone through this yet, you don't have any idea. You only see this in this particular phase of SDLC, but you already need to do your cost benefits summary in the first phase of SDLC. So I know that it's difficult for students to do the suggestion of what to invest in the new system. And then as for communication, we need the phone. We must have a phone in any room with computers, especially when the user, they want to call up the say the help desk of the IT department, right? Or in the server room, there should be a phone. But then nowadays, in the office, they expect this what do you call that, employee just to use a smartphone. Okay, but to save costs, a landline would be better, right? Cabling for network connection. I think you're taking computer networking, fundamental computer networking.
Yeah.
Have you all learned how to do oh, tak boleh, that one requires face to face. What's the name already? You need to cut
Setup.
The cable kah?
Cable scrimping kah? You need the scrimping tool, and then this is the RJ45. You need to place all the tiny wires correctly into the RJ45. Have you all done that? Belum lagi kan?
For this course haven't lah, but I already do in my practical year.
Oh, practical, yeah. Okay. So this one requires face-to-face. You need the UTP cable. You need the scrimp. I forgot what's the name. Scrimping tool, something lah. Okay, to attach this RJ45 to the network cable, UTP cable. UTP stands for what? Untwisted pair cable, UTP. That is supposed to be in your intro to IT. Okay, and then same thing with the power supply cabling is you should make sure that it's sufficient for the current system as well as for new or future addition. Okay, as for noise, we don't put like this dot matrix printer. This is a big printer like this. Okay, it's very fast compared to the small one, but sometimes we still need this if you want to print copies of document at one time. Okay, using this computer form, you should not place this dot matrix printer right here. You imagine if that printer is here, a bit rather than this laser printer, that will be too noisy for this particular employee. Okay, should put the printer somewhere, or perhaps next door there's a small room. Okay, just for printing lah. So these are some of the things that SN need to consider. Okay, and then we are still in the equipment conversion. Okay, in the installation, we covered the small scale installation that install PC. Okay, let's look at the software. Okay, for software installation, normally we can do it on our own, but then a software vendor, they might be, they already done it for us, means it's pre-installed for us. If you do it on your own, there should be a manual. Okay, preloaded software depends on the machine that you buy, whether it's included in the price of the PC, right? Sometimes they come with the Microsoft Office, even the antivirus. Sometimes Microsoft Office is not included. You want to add in Microsoft Office, then you need to add in few hundreds. Okay, most of the software requires registration for online updates. And then SN need to make sure that they have backups. Okay, backups in case need to reinstall everything, you should still have the software installer. And then regarding license, okay, when you purchase license for a company, you should not go for the one user license, because that is for home or personal. You need to look at the license depending on the number of users. Okay, license, it doesn't give you the ownership right. It just gives you the license to use that particular software in how many PC lah. Okay, that is software installation. Now, how about a large scale installation, like you have a mainframe or even mini computer? Same thing. It's same thing. You still need the furniture, power supply, everything. Okay, it's same thing. There's problems in terms of planning for large installation. So let's take a look at that. Means what's the difference? Okay, like for a small scale, when we look at the site, we see the availability of the space, accessibility, cleanliness, all this, yeah. But then for a large scale, what's the issues in terms of site? We need to look at the space for everything. Not only that, must have servicing room as well. Servicing room is where the computer technician will be, like to service the PC. I'm sure you all learned this in your intro to IT, how to maintain the PC. You need to open up your system unit, okay, clean it frequently, okay, from dusty, from dust and all those servicing room. And then the servicing room should be near to the end user department. Okay, easy to access for the computer equipment, supplies like a toner for the printer. And since this is a large scale installation that can be in an existing or perhaps even a new building, you should consider room for expansion. Okay, room for expansion. Perhaps the number of end users will be added in the future. Okay, that's why you need another room for expansion. And then space like for library. Library, remember we have documentations. Okay, documentations, user manual for the software installation, hardware installation. Yeah, we need that. We need a small library. Stationery store, right? The A4 paper, toner, all those. And since we have servicing room, we also need the system maintenance stuff lah. All right. So this one is different from a small scale installation. Now, for site preparation, let's compare this with the small scale installation. Site preparation, here it will not be that complex. For large scale, you need to look at this besides table, you must consider cabinets. I think you all did suggested cabinets, right, in your cost and benefits summary?
Yeah, I think don't need the cabinet because the server should be online. It's usually cloud one.
But then it can also be included under here because you cannot just put your server in this type of table, right?
The server just use cloud.
Cloud kan? Already changed to cloud. Kalau change to cloud means no need extra furniture lah. Okay, so I hope.
Extra the cabinet.
Okay. So now I'm looking forward to your final report. Okay, where was I? For large scale installation, like in our campus, we have like computer labs, right? We need this three-phase. Okay, three-phase. The one that we have in our house is just a two-phase. If you use a two-phase electricity, what do you call this box? I'm not sure what do we call this. But then I know that if it's bigger, there is a three-phase, the one that we use, we have at home. Later you go and check your home, a smaller size, like a smaller size two-phase that cannot support all the PCs in the room. We need air conditioning. This is same thing to control the temperature, humidity, and dust. And then we can decide whether we want a raised floor or a false ceiling. Raised floors look something like this. It means you hide all the cables underneath the raised floor. False ceiling means all the cables are inside the ceiling. All right. And then we do need fire protection devices like the sprinkler here. But you should not put sprinkler right at the top of your machine. Okay, perhaps somewhere else. And these are ABC fire extinguishers needed, required. A lot of things to prepare, right, under installation.
A lot of things to consider. This.
Yes.
Is it the programmer's job to?
No. The bosses, the boss's job, like SA, the project manager, all those. Okay. But then depending on the company, if like it's a small company, sometimes the programmer will become the technician, right? Help out in the installation. Like last time when I was still in the field, yeah, I was the analyst programmer. If the technicians comes from our HQ, I need to be there. Saturday, Sunday, because we cannot do our work while the other employees are using their PC. So I normally help them, like what do you call that? Tarik cable, tarik cable from the ceiling. All right. We need to keep all the cables unseen from the employees. Okay, tarik cable, go under the table. Okay, it's not by job, but I'm in the IT department. I still need to do it, like to carry all this, what do you call this? This heavy printer. Oh my goodness. You will experience this. Okay. Where was I? Standby equipment, another thing. For small scale PC installation, perhaps it's just a normal UPS, the uninterruptible power supply. But for a large scale installation, then you need standby generators, standby computers as well. Okay, these are important. This is because we want to ensure continuity of processing. If say that area is prone to power failure lah. Normally when there's a power failure, without this standby of equipment, it can affect our computer, right? Okay, so we're done with the installation. Installation, small scale installation, large scale installation. It covers hardware, software. It covers site, what we call that, site selection, site preparation. Now, this is an example of question that you might see with a different scenario. Like this company, they bought ERP package and they already have all the necessary hardware platform. Okay, since they already have all the necessary hardware platform, so you need to discuss what are the remaining 4 things that they need to carry out during the equipment conversion. So you can refer to what we have here. They have the hardware platform ready. So perhaps you can look at installing the ERP package, correct? Because he just said bought an ERP package. If they already have the hardware, they already have the computer, then one of it would be a software installation. Okay, just give you an example of one of the things that need to be carried out during the equipment conversion. So far, what we're doing now is equipment conversion, also known as installation. Let me show you. Okay, equipment conversion, which is the installation. Another scenario is this company, XYZ company, completed its user acceptance testing. So they are ready for equipment conversion. Does it mention anything about they already have the hardware? Belum ada. So perhaps in the equipment conversion, you can add in the hardware installation as well. Okay, so just a scenario for you to refer to. Okay, let me see. Oh, no questions, so I proceed. Yeah, now it's 1-6. Okay, half, we already covered half. So the second half of our part 1 system implementation is the file conversion and creation. Okay, this is where programmer need to comes in. Okay, I've experienced this when I was in Lahad Datu. Okay, I was the analyst programmer there for a while. Okay, and then I transferred to the KK officer, right? File conversion and creation, it depends on whether the current system is a manual system and then you want to introduce a new system, computerized system. Or another scenario is you have the existing old system using different file type or database, and then the new system, they're using different type, or perhaps the table has additional column, the length of the attributes are different. So when you perform the system changeover, you need to make sure that the data is already there in the new system. So this is what we call as file conversion. It's good when we can convert the file. Sometimes it needs to be done manually, and most of the time to save the effort, programmers need to code a macro, okay, a small routine to automate everything. okay, to transfer, to copy from A to B. And another scenario is file creation. Why do we need file creation? Perhaps in the new system, you have 2 new tables, but then in the old system, we don't have this table. So you need to decide how are we going to populate the 2 new tables? From where do we get the data from the old system? So everything is covered in this stage. File conversion and creation. So what is our objective? We need to make sure that we have our file on the specified medium, okay? Means in the new system lah. And then the file that we have in the new system should be error-free, okay? And then make sure the whole file conversion, file creation is complete and a success. Otherwise, even when you do a dummy run, then your system will not work because there's something wrong with the data. You need to remember GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. Make sure data is error-free, all right, and created accurately. Now, what is data conversion? Data conversion, when you see the word conversion, it means old system to new system. So data conversion means data from the old system you convert to the new system. You can use a routine, means a program, a small program to do this conversion. And then the most important thing when you want to do this conversion, you need to map first. Otherwise, you cannot convert using create this routine. You need to map the data files, okay? Say this table A will be mapped to table, say B in the new system. Okay, table A has 10 attributes, and then table B also must have 10 attributes. Then it's very easy, correct? That is very easy. You just copy everything. The routines mentioned here is the program lah. Okay, you use program to do the conversion, means you copy from the old table to a new table. I have this illustration in the, we have this illustration in the next slide, means some old system, the data in an old format, okay, and then the new system, you need to get it ready. You cannot run a system without any data inside, right? Especially when you have the master file and the existing history of the transaction file. So converting data is done. Okay, so this is data conversion. Normally we use a program. Okay, here it is named as routine. Okay, program or routine. Now, another one is data creation. We only deal with data creation when the new system has new data, but then it's not in the old system. So you need to create this new data for manual data entry. Okay, so here we need this program for manual data entry purpose, means just to enter the data, say a master files perhaps, okay, you need to enter it manually lah, okay, a data entry screen. And because this is a manual data entry screen, either your IT staff will do it or any data entry staff to do it, you must have a data validation. Okay, again, I repeat, GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. So you don't want garbage, you validate your data. Make sure that incorrect data is not entered into the new system. I hope you still remember in system design, when we learn about the input design, you also cover the input validation. We have the character check would be the data type check, and then the size check, and so on. Now, in this illustration, we can see that if the new system, we need this data, but then it's not in the old system, perhaps we can still find it in a paper format. So we need a data entry program, okay, just a UI, okay, for the user to enter with the input validation, apa lagi, and then the save button, edit button, delete button, a program lah, a routine. So this is to be keyed in manually. All right, data entry based on the info in the documents in the paper format. Then we need someone to enter the data manually, because that particular data is not available in the old system. So you need to get someone to enter it into the new system. If it's available, then it's just a matter of converting. Okay, converting into means you copy from here to here with the correct format. Okay. Methods of converting data from our previous illustration, we can see that there are two types: automated approach and also manual keying. This is a process of converting data that is I would not say difficult, but it's tedious. In my previous company, my experience, that particular company, they employ like in that particular department, they have data entry clerks. Okay, they have this paper document for them to enter into the system. The system is just a dumb terminal, just a software to do the data entry. That's it. There's no other software installed in that particular terminal. I would call it as dumb terminal for manual data key in. Automated approach, normally because when this system is in another different format, new system is in another new different format, you need to convert. When you do this conversion, normally we have this ODBC. Okay, ODBC stands for Open Database Connectivity. Like this is DBMS1, perhaps it's Microsoft Access. Okay, Microsoft Access, or perhaps your Oracle. Okay, your Oracle. Say you have your Microsoft Access. Okay, as long as you set your ODBC, you can convert it or save it as Excel. And then here, perhaps you can export it to your Oracle. So it depends. You have different DBMS. All right. In order for the data to be converted different format to another different format, we need this. Okay. What is ODBC? It's just a protocol. Okay, it's a industry standard protocol that allows DBMS from different vendors to exchange data. Okay. Now, let's look at the first issue here. Okay, conversion problem. Data conversion problems means computer to computer, old system to another new system. The first one is technical incompatibility, meaning the new software runs on a different hardware, so it is technically not feasible to convert the data. There's a typo here. So what you can do, from the old system, you just print it out and then enter manually into the new system. So this is
like
tedious job.
Incompatible, like different, they use different coding language like that, or just the software really, or just the computer not suited.
It can be both. Okay, hardware or perhaps the OS. Okay, different hardware using different OS. Okay, really not compatible means there's no ODBC, the standard protocol that allows it to be to use export card, to use import, to link to another DBMS. So in that case, the easiest way is you print out everything. Oh my goodness.
Very tedious to do, all right.
Yes, very tedious. Okay,
Like
very tedious.
also can make mistake, and then everything go wrong.
Yes, yes. And then some more, if you don't have any knowledge about the data itself, then when you say, oh, this is a mistake. Why so many case? Last time, case, I'm talking about my experience in Lahad Datu. The company is a palm oil company, okay, a very big company listed in KLSC First Board. palm oil. I don't know anything about palm oil. Okay, and then they have a lot of in-house system. And then I was asked into they have this indexing to make sure that the system is, because the data entry clerk is those high school, barely finished high school, asked to enter data into the dump terminal. Yeah, you can see like lots of empty records or empty columns. So if this happen a lot, then it will like use up the space, okay, the memory space. So I took a look into the database and, oh my goodness, what is this? It's like when you do a defragmentation, okay, data defragmentation on your computer, you can see that there are holes everywhere. Then I see like, what is this? A case, all capital letter, small letter, huruf besar, huruf kecil. Yeah, this is not standardized. If you have limited data for that particular column or attribute, then you by right it should be, instead of text field, make it as what do you call that? Drop down list, right? Then you can control what data is entered. So basically what I saw was garbage lah. Right? Just my experience. And then another problem is new data fields. How about this new data fields? Not in the current system, but then it's in the new system. For example, in the customer file, there's sex or gender. All right. In the new system lah. But then in the old system, there's no sex or gender column. So how are you going to populate the sex column in the new system? You cannot simply say you see the name Allison, you assume that it is a female, because I do know a guy named Allison, right? But then in Malaysia, I believe we can check it from our MyCard number. So I think in that case, you can write a program, a small program, just to decide whether that particular customer record is a male or female. Okay, so that is where, okay, here data conversion, it might need a program lah. Okay, small program. Imagine you have thousands, so that's why you need to have a program. Another problem is matching the data fields. Oh, this is a headache. There's no exact match between the data fields on the current proposed system. The fields may need to be combined, or it may need to be split up, like a delegate name perhaps as a first name, middle name, last name. Okay, the one that I have in my next slide is the example for address. Let me show you. Problem of matching data fields. Current system, you have only one field, address. But then in the new system, you have address 1, address 2, postcode, all those. So how are you going to match this? This is definitely manual data entry. You need to look at the address. Or in the current system, they just type kampung penampang. There's not a postcode. So leave this as empty. Kampung penampang. Oh, so imagine you need to do this for the whole thing, right? Before you convert to a new system, you need to take care of this file conversion of file, the data conversion and data creation first. Okay, I'm not sure whether you will experience this during your internship, but then if you experience, it will be good. Okay. Another problem is problems of new data files, new table, meaning new system will have extra files. I have one example in my next slide. So in the current system, I have registration table, reservation table, borrowing table, returning table. And then in the proposed system, I have this, and then suddenly there's a cancellation table. But then there's none in the current system. So how are we going to populate this table from the previous transaction history? Correct? Perhaps If in this particular table they have one column status cancel, then you need to have a program, a routine that check if this particular record status is cancelled, then you copy from that particular table to this new cancellation table. And then you need to consider cancel as in C-A-N-C-E-L, C-A-N-C-E-L-L-E-D, or any other words that represent cancel. Correct? So, another problem. Okay, the fifth problem is different field lengths. Here you need to decide also. You need to decide like examiner names is shortened it's short in the old system, but in the new system, more space. Okay, this one should be no problem, just copy lah. But then like telephone numbers, add digits. Okay, let's look at this example. Current system, you have this. Proposed system, want to add in the country code. So you need to decide, check in the record, what is the country? If country is equal to Malaysia, then you add in this. Okay. Imagine if you need to do this manually. Last time I have to do this manually.
Is it very common? Is it very common that this happens?
Sometimes people, when they propose new system, they propose totally new system. But then some people, they want to retain the old data for transaction history. It also depends on the system request. Remember the system request that the user will submit to the SA. Okay, you have this question, right? All right, and then you have empty answer. This is an example. You need to identify 3 issues or problem when populate the new file structure. In the old system, you only have one file called assessment file. And then in the new system, you have 2. One is examination, one is examiner. Okay, how are you going to convert from this assessment file into these 2 new files? So the first issue would be, look at the address. All system, only 1 attribute. New system, 3 attributes, address, line 1, line 2, line 3. This is first issue. Okay, second issue. Here in the old file, you only have the name, but then in the new system, all right, in the examiner file, there's a code for each of the examiner. And then in the examination file, this is something like foreign key already lah. Instead of the examiner name, just need the examiner code. Okay, if you're the SA, how are you going to convert this? Okay, another problem is the name from 30, now it's 50, right? And then the syllabus summary, 100 characters, not existing in the old file. So this is manual data entry. Like you still need to enter something into this particular exam, some info. So we have seen more than 3 issues already. Right, so you can screenshot this answer. Okay, and then after class or perhaps tonight, you can have a look before you go to sleep lah. Okay, the suggested answer. You'll get the answer ready?
Exam also exam also ask these questions.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Not sure. But then it depends on logic lah, right? On logic.
Still need understanding.
Yeah, understanding. Okay, let me check. Oh, one more slide. 2 more slides and we're done. 3 more minutes. Okay, let's finish this up. The previous issues would be converting from one system to another system, means computer to computer, and this is problem for when the old system is a manual system, means you don't have any digital format of data. Everything is in a paper. Manual system, you need to enter everything into the new system. Okay, first of all, you need to set up the master files. Like for your BT system, what are your master files? The bus, the schedule, the route, bus operator also, right? So meaning need to type in. But yeah. If you imagine that the BT, the speed bus, they don't have any existing computerized system, right? And then entry of system derived field. System derived field, like the dates. Okay, this is a system derived, like for in the new system, say for today's date. Okay, then we can just read it from the computer system date and time. But then sometimes there are things like the example given here. This is about order. The date of last order may not be available at the time of receipt of order, because previously everything is in paper. So you need to like check the paper, refer to it, decide, oh, this is the correct one, enter into the system manually. Wow. And then lack of historical data restrict use, means you don't even have it on paper, but you need the data in the new system. Okay. So in this case, you can see that it will be a little, it will be of little use until the second or third year of the system user. Then you will have, like, if you're in the second year, you have the year one data as your historical data. So everything will work just fine, right? Any more issue? Yeah, no more issue. This is for manual system, manual data entry. Now, in summary, okay, what we have covered for today's lecture: system implementation. The first part, equipment conversion, which is the installation. It involves site selection, site preparation. There are two types of installation: small scale installation, large scale installation. Next, second part, we look at the file conversion, where we have data conversion, we have data creation. It depends on the situation, yeah. When we do this conversion, file conversion, we need a timetable. So if you're the system analyst, and then you need to get the system ready by end of this month. So how many days left? Example, or perhaps it's by May, everything need to be up and running. So you need to have a timetable for the conversion. If you have like hundreds, thousands of data to be entered, you don't have enough time, get your programmer to do this program to convert automatically some of the field in the old system into the new system. And you need to carry out a dummy run. Dummy run is where the programmer will like run the system using the data that has been manually created or auto.
Does it count? Does it count as a dummy run if you like? If the system's supposed to get names to run, but you just write XXX only.
No, that is not a dummy run.
That doesn't count.
That is unit testing using dummy data.
Oh, okay.
This is dummy run. It's not the official run by the end user yet. You because we want to test the system, we want to know whether the file conversion is a success or not. Mana tahu your program salah convert?
Is it same as alpha test?
No.
Also not.
No. This is the objective for this dummy run is you want to make sure that whatever data, okay, let's see, whatever data entered manually,
randomly key in the data.
No, bukan randomly. Bukan randomly. Complete everything. Like the manual key in required masuk sini, and then the one that you use program, okay, make sure the program convert data in the old digital format into the new digital format. So based on what you have here, okay, perhaps you need some manual entering of data sini juga kan. This is where with the data ready, then you do the dummy run. See whether your system crash or not. Hopefully not lah. Okay. So hopefully not. Because there might be mistake in terms of here, new data fields. Sometimes you will see why the name become like that. Why the address postcode is in the line 2, not in the postcode field, means your routine or program something is wrong already lah. Where was I? The last page. Okay, so carry out the dummy run, not using dummy data, but then using the data that already being converted. Okay, you need to decide on the cutoff date. Cutoff date means tell the programmer you must finish the data conversion by this date. Otherwise, you cannot proceed to the next stage of the system implementation. The next stage of system implementation, we need to train already. We need to do training. We need to train our end user before we convert to the new system. So what do we have now in system implementation? We have equipment conversion, we have file conversion, then the system conversion. Before we do system conversion, must do the training, right? And then sometimes it might not refer to the training of how to use the new system yet. This is to train the relevant staff that you require them to do this. Is it? To do the manual data entry. This one. You need to train the data entry in charge. Okay, if you see that the IC number ends with if male is odd number, right? Kalau odd number, then it's a female. Okay, add in female. If it's even number, then the customer is no. Odd number is a male. Even number is a female. So you need to train the user, okay, involved in the conversion. Okay, run the data validation programs. Yes, whether it is able to detect any invalid input. And then the next stage after file conversion is the changeover lah, system changeover or system conversion. So system changeover, system conversion, we will cover next week. So we're done already. Extra 5 minutes. Okay, here normally timetable for conversion, we don't interrupt our employee. Okay, we will do that during low peak time, low period of activity. Perhaps there's an example here after major festive season like Hari Raya Puasa. Then most of the employee, they will be continuing their annual leave, right? So this is the best time to do conversion. So we're done already. Oh, 7 minutes past 1:30. Any question before I end our meet?
No.
So far, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay, that's all for today, yeah. Bye-bye. See you on Thursday.
Okay, Miss.
Okay,
Thank you.
Welcome.